Hey there everyone, it's Haz here and Big Run is here. I have to say Inkblot Art Academy might be my favorite Salmon run stage. I'm having incredible amount of fun this Big Run already, despite not having slept at all in the past 24 hours, but well, this only happens once every 3 months. Big Run is also the debut of the brand new King Salmonid Horrorboros that we've all been anxiously waiting for. And if you checked my first impressions video of Big Run, you know that I'm a big fan of the design. This boss is just too much fun to play against. Now this video isn't an ultimate guide like my Cohozuna one, it's way too early for that, but I've prepared a quick analysis and guide for you all on how to beat Horrorboros and what you should look out for if you want to splat them during Big Run. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first major difference between our old Cohozuna and Horrorboros is their behavior, and as a result, their health. While Cohozuna is an aggressive king that actively chases the player, Horrorboros instead is somewhat passive king salmonid that hovers above the stage without targeting anyone specifically and attempts to splat the team with well-timed and ultra-large booyah bombs. These booyah bombs are way bigger than player ones, so be careful. I'm not sure on the exact numbers, but I believe someone said it might be even 50% bigger than an average booyah bomb, so make sure not to underestimate them. Because of the static and passive nature of Horrorboros, they also have a much larger health pool than Cohozuna, by around 15,000 more health, which might be really scary to hear first, but in my opinion, they're actually much easier to defeat. Since Horrorboros is flying, unfortunately not all weapons are good against them that were amazing against Cohozuna, such as short-range weapons like Spatanas or even a Splush-O-Matic that are considered one of the best King Splatter weapons. And so during Horrorboros, the team should focus a lot more on splatting normal bosses too. If you do have the range, you can shoot Horrorboros normally just like Cohozuna, so they don't really have any armor or anything like that. So if you have the range, go for it. With that said, there is one major advantage that we have against Horrorboros, and that is a weakness the developers gave it, which coincidentally is the same thing that's most dangerous about them, their booyah bomb. While Horrorboros is charging up their booyah bomb in their mouth, the bomb itself is actually vulnerable to damage, very similarly like steelhead bombs. If the player manages to deal enough damage to the bomb in its mouth before he finishes charging it, it will result in a massive explosion that not only cancels the booyah bomb itself, but also deals a stunning amount of around 10% health damage to Horrorboros. But hopefully we will get an exact number sooner or later how much it really deals. Because this is such a huge damage to the boss, shooting them normally is fairly pointless if you ask me, and the whole team should be focusing on blowing up the bomb, not only to prevent booyah bombs ruining your day, but also to splat the King Salmonid faster. Now this is where normal boss splitting comes in and makes Horrorboros the superior king design in my opinion. Your golden egg launcher also deals damage to this booyah bomb in its mouth and is one of the most efficient ways to blow it up. Since your egg launcher is one of your highest damage options at your disposal, and only a select few weapons are more efficient than that, such as all the splatlings in this case, I recommend splatting bosses and throwing eggs against the bomb with most other weapons to get the best results. This gets even more efficient as in my experience Horrorboros seems to be on a fixed, predetermined path or rail if you like that they move on, so the path they hover on becomes extremely predictable. And if you're able to gather a couple of golden eggs, you can basically always make sure to position yourself in such a way that you can constantly blow up the booyah bomb in its mouth without a problem. With a little bit of practice, I think Horrorboros is a much easier to splat King Salmonid, but at the same time it's also a superior design that uses all the different aspects of Salmon Run from weakness to using golden eggs too. That just makes fighting it so much more fun than Cohozuna. A good question to also ask since I mentioned it before, which weapons are potentially good Horrorboros splatters that can ignore golden egg collection? Now this is a tough question for now and I can't give a precise answer yet until the ultimate guide sometime later, but I have a few early calculations I made. In this footage I've been using a Grisco Brella that has 400 damage per second and tried to mainly focus on splatting the booyah bomb in Horrorboros' mouth. But checking back the footage, I was also constantly getting help by the Hydra Splatling, which is the highest DPS weapon of 900 damage per second, and we managed to splat the bomb relatively fast, but if you consider the time it took with such powerful weapons, I would say the list of effective weapons will be quite short. For now, in my opinion, the only weapons that should strictly focus on shooting the Booyah Bomb with their weapon, instead of just also trying to support with golden eggs, are all of the Splitlings and the 96 Gal, and that's pretty much it. All the other weapons either have relatively too short range, or simply lack the damage that would make them better than using the golden egg launcher instead. Though if you can use a Splatana or a Sploosh from high ground that reaches the bomb, feel free to do it. But overall, that is all I would say any of you would need in order to have a good time against Horrorboros during Big Run. With a bit of practice, I really think it's an easier king to fight, while also offering a lot more fun than Cohozuna. As I said, the most crucial thing to practice, I think, is to learn the pattern they fly in and get ahead of them so you always have a good position and view to shoot the bomb in its mouth. And since they keep repeating the very same path over and over, it should be pretty easy to do this. But that is all for this quick guide on how to defeat Horrorboros, everyone. If you found any further tips or secrets about the boss, don't hesitate to share it in the comment section. And if you liked the video, also stay tuned as I will be posting further guides during Big Run to help you with various night waves such as glowflies and grillers. Thank you for watching, everyone. Like and subscribe if this video helped you, and check out the rest of the channel for much more Salmon Run resources that can help you not only during Big Run, but in general too. Thank you again, and I'll see you the next time.